Hi, Melati. Could you, the first bit, you introduce yourself and say, hi, I'm Melati and I am.
Hi, I'm Melati Suryodarmo. I come from Indonesia. I was born in Solo, Surakarta in Jawa. I am basically working in performance art. I'm a performance artist, but also I'm doing photography and video works that relates with the performance art. But last 10 years I've been working on dance pieces too, so I'm also a choreographer. My training was based in visual art based performance art and Buto dance.
That's very impressive, Melati. So, we know you've chosen performance art as your primary mode of artistic practice, and that, for Southeast Asia for a long time was something very, very new. Not so many artists devote themselves to this particular practice, which is very ephemeral. You can't really have a kind of ready product to sell. What made you, in a sense, what was the motivating factor or what was the circumstances that made you decide to choose performance as your primary medium of practice?
I love working with the body as the main medium because I think to work with the body is something like dealing constantly with the substance that has been changing all the time to time, and this is for me as a part of kind of resistance too, towards the conventional form, but also that a life a life aspect of an art is something that is can be can be fluid. It has a fluid consistency, and it has a strong energy. So there is no measurement of a quality that is where we can say it's a standard like other many arts.
And also performance, I suppose, because it's also a live
Yeah.
kind of practice. The relationship to the audience is different from if you were a painter or even an installation artist, right?
Yes, so the body is a unity of the concept and the work itself. It is through a witnessing the actual performance is the value of the work. So, of course, it's difficult to compare with other genre that were like painting or sculptures, but and it is different, but it's different. It's not acting. It's not like in the theater. It's not the choreography that is has necessarily accounting or certain patterns that we have to follow. But it has also like something that is pure, something that is honest. The aesthetic of the body also is close to our daily acceptance on other people's body, and audience can have more various way according to their own capacity or structure of thinking to perceive the work. So I like to do also the long durational performance to enter the space with my actions, and to give also to share the process of becoming, to share the process of changing with the audience, so that the audience also can perceive time and space together with the energy that is going on. So the energy is created together between me and the audience, and what comes up as a result in our mind is still very individual.
I think the word you use about witnessing and the witness, I think that's really interesting and perhaps a kind of way to understand what you do, because the audience is not really an audience in the sense of people sitting in a darkened theater on velvet lined seats watching a play or a dance. I mean, in your work, the audience is as you say, a witness, and witness means somehow they are part of the impact of the work. You know that what you said about the relationship. You know, with the people who are there when you know your physical body is performing. That sounds very close. This word witness and the way you describe it also sounds, interestingly enough, very close to some of the ways in which you know 20th century theatre is described in places with Grotowski,
Yeah.
for instance, and Artaud. There's always also they also use this kind of language of, in a sense, the work being something that is a kind of exchange with the
Yes.
audience in real time. You know? So do you in your work, I mean, do you engage with some of these ideas like with Grotowski and so on?
Well, I like the idea from that Antonin Artaud has written. Actually, like to to focus on the body, the concept of the body without organ, and it's more into the liquid energy, the energy that is coming out through the process during the making, or in the theater context, it would be during the doing the acting. So in the performance, I like to adapt this that the change, the process of becoming is real. So it's not an acting that to get to become something, but the becoming come by itself as the result of the constellation of the presence of my body, the situation of the space, and the stretch of the time. And of course, probably not all the audience can witness, because witnessing something is also a capacity of how your emotion or how your senses working together in a space, how it connects with the idea, how it connects with the visuality of the work. So of course I'm having a concept that I would like to offer through my work, but people might perceive differently according to their personality. So this is what I really like. So I do not like to offer just one thing that the audience should think about or should feel like what I feel, what I think, but it's more to give a kind of a platform or doors to different kind of perceptions.
Interesting. And your ideas seem to be, you know, even though you're an artist from Indonesia, from Southeast Asia, here you are also talking about ideas from European sort of, you know, social and cultural thinkers. So do you, and we all know that you actually studied performance also in Europe. Could you say a little bit about that, and what was that experience, and what did you take away from that whole period, you know, of studying and working in Europe, and how do you think it has in a sense, you know, affected your practice as particularly, you know, an artist from Southeast Asia, from Indonesia, now that you're back in Indonesia?
Yeah, you know, like making art for me, like when I try to create, I mostly inspired by my daily life. The daily life included my mental state, my state of mind also, and how I think I became aware of the word cultural representative since I left my country. So anywhere I go, every corner, I was a stranger. So this becoming a stranger put me into a special place where I can look myself, where my origin come from, and where I was in, you know, among a new society, among new community I'm living in. So this daily life that put me into a confrontation, a daily confrontation about identity, about, you know, the way of thinking, the way of everything, you know, the way I dress, the way I walk, the way I talk, and it's all came together, and I think this has, you know, brought me back into my body as the source or as the container of or a library of inspiration. So I imagine my body contain, like all the cultural root, all the historical influence, but also like the daily temptation, the daily life temptation, and this grows together, and this become a never end source of ideas of thinking. So, in a way, you cannot merge two different cultures at the same time. You cannot force yourself. It depends on your personality, uh, how you go through your life. And I think I've been very interested into literature, to philosophy, and um, and there are qualities that I really love, like for example, from Indonesian culture, are those kind of knowledge rather than the forms of the traditions, but the knowledge that comes uh, in the tradition.
Can you give an
Through,
example?
for example, like like the Indonesian, I would say mysticism, for example, or traditional beliefs
Yes.
that has actually an accuracy of measurement of the star and the water and the moon and the air and the direction of the wind, and then how it connects with the plants, with the earth, with the body, with the everything, that we are gradually losing actually the knowledge through our modern life.
Yes.
But also like in this term, then opening myself to understand the Western philosophy, the 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 Frankfurt School, or wherever, that to see the life from more into the critical and analytical context. So this combination triggering me to learn more, and every work I do is a chance to learn something new. So I think new project is for me is an opportunity to learn more about a new subject.
Yes.
So and I how do you say? I think I will never stop creating because I really want to learn more and more. I always start like as if like I'm from zero and then again, and you'll have something like this. Yeah.
So here at Asia Society, I mean, we've commissioned you for a new project
Mhm.
under the Creative Common Ground initiative, which is supposed to, in a sense, provide a kind of stimulus and resourcing for artists to do work that they have a desire, a wish to do, but they have never gone round to doing it. And could you say about your thoughts about what you are hoping to do with this new project?
Yes, I was wondering, uh, what happened when we sleep. I was also, of course, I had a experience, private, personal experience that has to do with sleep and dreams and the work of the brain, all the traumatic event that reflect the sleep, or how do you say, like nightmares come from sometimes from the reality or the life events experience. And so also like a part of my family member has gone through nerves system problem, and so
Neurological.
yeah, neurological problem. So I was wondering, because I would like to continue researching about what we are dreaming when we sleep, and when the dream, there is dream, where come the dreams from. And there is another term of dream, so like more that is like obsessions or desire, or I'm dreaming to be like, we are dreaming to be like, we are dreaming to be in a beautiful land, we are like that is achieve to be somewhere
Yes.
in the future.
Some place that
Some
you
place.
aspire,
Yeah.
someone you aspire to be.
Yes.
It's also another definition of dream. Like
Yes.
triennial, we do not dream alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the other side is a dream that is really coming subconsciously or coming from the reflections of the life event we have seen, or reflected from other visuality in the reality that.
And
Yeah.
in Javanese culture, isn't there also a vast body of thought
Yes.
about dreams and
Yeah.
interpretation of dreams?
Yeah, the interesting thing, of course, talking about dream, I should refer to Jung, Carl Jung, and Freud. But
Yeah.
of course, there are also, like in Javanese belief, we have like meanings of dreams. So a lot of meanings about dream, and like if you drink water, it means you're gonna be sick, or if you meet snake, it's gonna be somebody is wanting to have sex with you, or like if you dream of a sky and and moving star, to see a moving star, if you dream, a lot of meanings coming from dreams. And I think the symbol that they use mostly in the form of animals or nature element like water, stone, or like activity like running or being chased by a crazy person, or like there are different kind of dimensions how to give a meaning of a dream. So to interpret it, that means actually there are something like common in the knowledge of dreams, so that people also believe that people will how do you say, get prepared or something like that, or to be aware more about their reality. And so not talking only about the dreams, talking about dreams, you cannot separate yourself from the reality. And so I'm seeking to have this connectivity through the project, and let's see.
So what is it that you are hoping to look at that is outside the realm of dreams, outside personal dreaming, this reality that you're talking about? What are some of the ideas that is concerning you at the moment?
I'm preparing a kind of scientific research to be the first step. I mean, a scientific research, like maybe the most simple one, like to testify myself, to put myself into an experiment, a focus labor that I'm creating, like a fantasy labor, and documenting it. And I'm going to get some stimulation that probably could influence my sleep, and in a certain quality and capacity, and then to measure the work of the brain during my sleep, and then to catch the dream, and to record everything, and then from that, as the first step, to get the material for the next step, which is going to be the live performance. And I cannot tell you yet, but I'm interested to work with a vocalist from the US or from New York, to collaborate with the voice, with the voice work.
Why voice?
I think voice is transmitting. Voice has a quality of transmitting something, so that is from the body into the air, to control the energy of the space.
Yes.
Also, like to how do you say, transmitting messages, and I think voice is very like much used also in the shamanism, like for example to help you to clean the
Because of the
the vibration.
vibratory
Yeah,
quality.
yes.
Okay. Yes, it's also used as a kind of cleaning, to clean the room. Or
Yes,
the
yes,
atmosphere
yes.
At this time. So, I just want to circle back to your practice in general at large. So performance, I think also one reason why the genre you've chosen is very challenging. As an artist, is also there's always a kind of element of risk
Yeah.
involved, right? And the audience, and it's back to this thing about some of the audience at least being not just a passive audience, but kind of witnessing to
Mhm.
the artist and acting a kind of risk. There is an
Mhm.
element of sacrifice that is sort of involved on the part
Yeah.
of the artist. I mean, what do you feel that that is what gives like performance its kind of visceral power,
Mhm.
or you know, is that important in performance that people understand or they feel there's a kind of element of risk involved?
Well, we are facing risk every day. Every time we step out the house, even when we are in the house, we know the term risk. Everybody knows the term risk. And in the performance, especially historically, it's always about risk to choose to be as the artist as the work itself is entering the risk of critics of like everything that is beyond the conventionality of art, but using the body and providing it with a concept. The risk is even your action is not, even when your action is not very strong or not, or physically provoking, but the risk is, there are so many risks that you can fall down into, slip down into the different kind of meanings. And being in the age or in the border of risk is, I think, there is a kind of how do you say, interesting or important area between the actual activity and to go beyond what is subconscious. So everybody has a different how do you say, understanding of risk. To go, for me, to cross the street of the Park Avenue is like less risk than going crossing the small road in the village in Indonesia, for example. And for people from the village in Indonesia, just to go, like they think like riding motorbike without helmet is fine. But it's for other people, like who live probably abroad, that they, my God, like a mother carrying a baby with a cloth and riding a motorbike, and is like risking a life of your own child. Is something that is like unbelievable for them, but it's in Indonesia, it's my daily life. Something like so, different kind of a social environment, different kind of background that create the feeling of risk. So when I do a barter dance, for example, then I fall and it looks like painful, or like I put myself into the risk of falling. I know it looks stupid, but we put sometimes our life into this kind of situation where we know it's risky, but we want to try it. And that means you also want to take the risk whatever happens.
You say it's very interesting because it gets us into also this question about what is, in a sense, the larger impact of performance and artistic practice. And what you're saying is that actually it's not, it's also in a sense reflective of our larger happens in that gallery, or then what when you are shut up there with the artist for 10 minutes or 5 hours, depending on how long it is. And that's interesting because we begin to connect the personal world of the artist putting his or her body at risk and the larger sort of society outside, which, as you say, in some places crossing the road is risky. It's not necessarily. It's just whether you are aware of it or not.
And I think making art is about that. Making art is putting a certain issue, becoming like into a focus space. So whether it's sculpture or or painting or video works or sound work, I think it is to how to put an issue together and become a focus of attention. So I think and we have an immense resource. We have unlimited resource of issues of issue of or inspiring resources.
So let's ask the question from another kind of perspective. So for someone, coming, let's say, to your performance at Asia Society or to the triennial next year, who is the first time he or she has seen your work, what do you think, or what do you wish they will take away from your work?
I think they, what normally, like I do, like in most of my works, I will be very, how do you say, happy, or I would think that my work is working if the audience can build their own story, if they can build their own reflection, if they can connect with their own life also, so that a work can reflect many aspects. I think that would be my how do you say? Okay, then it worked.
That's beautifully,
Yeah.
beautifully